Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, it's Ahmed Khan here. This video is actually a very important video for me because I wish I watched this video 3-4 years ago when I was a literal game addict. So as you can probably realize from the title and from the way I'm speaking, this video is going to be about how you can essentially break your gaming addiction so that you can use that time productively. And in this video I'm going to go over a lot of different things. 1. Why video games are so addicting. And 2. How you could change literally your life if you just didn't play video games. And then 3, but video games are also a little beneficial. And 4, how to step by step break your gaming addiction. Lastly, but the most important part, I'm not going to be talking about this right now because it's really important, you just have to wait. So with that being said, let's get into the first chapter of this video, which is why video games are so addicting. And I'm going to give you 4 scientific reasons why video games are so addicting. And the first one is because they are a temporary escape from reality. If you have something in your life that you haven't dealt with in the past, then video games are going to be one of the ways that you are going to spend your time. Why? Because you actually haven't dealt with that problem. That's why video games are a temporary escape from reality. And the second reason why games are so addicting is because games are social, and a lot of people feel accepted and socializing. They feel like they're socializing while they're playing that game. And that's actually not real because it's just not reality. That's why how we can overcome this problem is basically by socializing in real life, in actual reality. And the third reason why games are so addictive is because games are a challenge. You just want to get better, you want to get to that next level, the next item, the next armor and everything. And that is incredibly well designed so that that's going to keep you hooked as long as possible in that game. This makes you forget the real growth and the real excitement that you can have in real life while actually leveling up, not in the game, but actually in your life. That's why if you're someone who plays a lot of video games, getting good grades in school is not going to be something that looks like so exciting. Why? Because you want to just get to that next level in the game, not in your life. But the most important thing is not the game, it's actually your life. And the fourth thing is basically the constant measurable growth, the feedback loop that was specifically created so that people could be addicted to these games. So these are 4 specifically measured things that gaming companies actually do so that they can keep you hooked in these games. It's just not the game that you're playing, it's not the social media that you are essentially hanging out in. It's the mind behind this that's gonna keep you hooked and engaged so that they can essentially make more money, especially on YouTube as well, so that they can make more money while stealing your time and your life. And when you have these 4 things combined, it is a real problem. And with that being said, let's get into the second part of this video, which is how you can exactly change your life if you just stopped playing video games. Let's say you are someone who plays video games 3 hours a day. That doesn't seem much because you still have 21 hours in that day, but in the long run, in 1 year, that is exactly 1,095 hours of playing video games. So let me tell you exactly what you are missing on. First of all, with that time you could get into the best shape of your life. You could develop a lot of skills that could be valuable to you in the future and right now. You could read a lot of books, I mean a lot of books. You can expand your knowledge. You could be one of the best students in your class and even in your school. And you could literally learn a new language from completely scratch, because I just heard that learning a new language from scratch generally takes around 1,000 hours of work. And you are gonna be able to do those things, and let me tell you what you're gonna be missing on. Literally nothing. You're not gonna be missing on anything, and you're gonna be able to have all those incredible things in your life. And if you know how to manage your time well, you can use those 3 hours to literally get all of those things. Maybe not every single one of them, but a couple of them that you can essentially choose from. And I know the question that is exactly in your mind right now. But video games are also beneficial. And my answer to that question is going to be yes, video games are beneficial. You can socialize, and they are relaxing, they are fun. These are, I would say, 3 main benefits that you can get by playing video games. The question that you have to ask yourself here is not, is this beneficial for me? Because you can find millions of things that are beneficial. But the question that you have to ask, this is really deep, is basically, is this task or is this video game is as beneficial as actually doing something important for me in my life? And 99% of the time, the answer is going to be no. Reading a book, exercising, studying for better grades, or building a YouTube channel, or building a business, these things are going to be more valuable for you in your life than playing video games. And that's not denying that video games are beneficial. Yes, both sides are beneficial, but the side which is going to essentially develop your life to a next level is much more important than the video game side. That's why when you're looking for a new habit in your life that you want to develop in yourself, the question that you have to ask yourself is not, is this beneficial? The question is this as beneficial as other stuff that I could be doing? So is this essentially worth my time? And 99% of the time, when it comes to video games, the answer is going to be no, they are not worth that much. So yes, there are some outputs that you're gonna get from playing video games, but the inputs are just too much and it's just not worth it. Reading 20 minutes does not have 3 hours worth of work, so it's just a little bit of input, but you can get a lot of outputs doing that. That's exactly why video games are generally not worth your time. So I feel like I kind of convinced you that video games are not the best use of your time. So in this 4th chapter of this video, I'm going to exactly explain you how you can stop that addiction, how you can cure your video game addiction. And let's get started with the first tip, which is essentially design your environment so that you can create more friction, which is going to basically mean that you're not going to be playing video games that much. For example, a couple of ideas that you can do. Do not have your computer at your study room, at the place where you're sleeping and where you're studying basically. Why? Because you can focus a lot better if you do not have your computer or your phone with you at that point. And tip 2, something else that you can do as well is basically deleting your games, deleting those games from your computer or from your phone so that it's gonna create a lot of friction to download them back. And most of the time your brain is gonna say, no, I'm not gonna be doing this again, and with that being said, you're not gonna be playing that much of video games. So as you can realize, what we are trying to do in the first 2 tips are basically we're trying to create more friction so that the playing video games is not going to be the best thing in your mind, and what's going to be the best thing is basically do something productive. Tip 3 is basically try to socialize more and get out of your comfort zone, because when you get out of your comfort zone, you're going to feel those endorphins and essentially dopamines, and that makes you feel like you don't want to play video games that much, because one of the main reasons why people play video games is because they are they feel like they're socializing, but in reality, of course, they're not. But when you socialize in real life, the need for you to play video games is going to be much lower. And the 4th tip is going to be exactly find why you are addicted to that game. This might be because of the fact that you want to essentially temporarily escape the reality, or you just want to socialize, or you just do not have anything to do for fun, and switch that to a good habit. If you do not have anything to do for fun, then just go to the gym. It's exciting, it's enjoyable, and it's just something really good for your body. And the tip 5 is going to be basically set yourself boundaries. You might be playing video games on Friday and Saturday, but do not play them, for example, any other day. Why? Because you have goals in your life. At the same time, you might have video games in your life. Well, when you compare them, of course, your goals are much important. And why do I know this? Because if you are watching this channel, then you feel like your goals are literally the most important thing for you in the world, because they actually are. But do not let video games interfere with those goals, because those are the most important ones. Video games are basically a temporary escape from actually reality. And with that being said, we came to the 5th chapter of this video. And the 5th chapter is basically the last but the most important chapter, which is kind of like a summary of this video. You do not need entertainment. What you need is interaction. You have to find exactly why you are playing video games and solve those reasons with other stuff that is actually valuable for you. For example, if you are playing video games because you want to socialize, just socialize in real life. If you're playing video games because you don't have anything else to do, find new hobbies. It's actually a huge problem if the go-to activity that you have when you're bored is playing video games. If you are bored and you just play video games, this is a huge problem right here. And you have to solve this problem by classical habit change. So find something that gives you the same amount of dopamine that you're gonna get from playing video games, but that is actually something real. And that's the most important thing. So I hope you took your notes and you are ready to change your life. Thanks so much for watching this video, and watch this video right here next. And I'll see you there.